Hey guys, this is Dis. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday despite the current things we're all going through. Also, thank you all for the support. And if you enjoy my stuff, consider subscribing and following me on Twitter for updates. So with Dragonspine, we have gotten a few new characters, a bunch of collectibles, new monsters, new storylines, and this time, new mechanics. Today I want to break down my favorite mechanic in this update, which is quite possibly one of the coolest, pun definitely intended, mechanics in any game I've played recently. Cold temperature mechanics and other survival mechanics have been known to be incredibly annoying in lots of different video games. It's almost infamous, because they lead to instant death, slowed movement, and they often incredibly limit the player's options when it comes to exploring. Since you're supposed to stay warm, there are situations where with these mechanics, you may not be able to go somewhere you want because there's no warmth there. Sheer cold is Genshin's take on this survival mechanic, and it encompasses the entire new area of Mondstadt with the 1.2 update. Sheer cold is, in my opinion, very balanced, well executed, and actually improves the experience of exploring this region. In previous areas before this update, you could idle wherever you pleased on the map, provided you weren't being attacked by a monster, with no consequences, which is nice, right? It's almost like anywhere you went, you could just chill out, relax, and admire beautiful landscape. On the other hand, the second you enter any part of Dragonspine, you will get a bar that slowly fills up and makes you feel a bit on edge. All of a sudden, standing still on the road seems like an unwise decision because it could be the difference between life or death if you can't find a place to get warm. As you run around, you have to make sure to locate the next heat source before getting into a fight or crossing a river or whatever might make the meter go up. The places these heat sources are located are seemingly random. However, they're placed in a way where you can always find one before the meter fills up if you're looking. The only thing that can cause you to freeze is your poor planning and decisions. If you explore Dragonspine while on edge and in suspense, picking your fights carefully, running past a torch before entering a blizzard, or situations similar to that, you can come out on top. So you might be wondering why I claimed this mechanic to be one of the best designed mechanics I've ever seen, right? Well, the reason I think this is because it subtly changes your gameplay without being an obnoxious, time-consuming pain. When you walk by a heat source, it has a radius. This radius warms you up, meaning that you almost never have to sit around a fire with tons of downtime. Instead, you just need to find it and walk past it, quickly continuing on. If somehow pulling off this sort of mechanic without it being annoying isn't enough, there are also tons of creative options you can take, all of them extremely easy to pull off to raise your temperature. This means you can discover different ways to stay warm and manipulate them to have the best chance of survival for the longest amount of time. There are crimson rocks that you can use to stop the progression of sheer cold for around 20 seconds or so. This allows you to stay warm while not actually being at a stationary source. By picking one of these up, you are able to explore even further than normal. You can also complete puzzles that will help you stay warm. This means not only are you incentivized to follow Sealies and interact with puzzles to unlock a heat lantern to survive, you will also get rewards and then be able to explore further from that point. These mechanics can and have been used in many domains and battles because sheer cold is designed to be reduced and even to be accelerated. In the one new domain, you have to stand on warmth tiles while really making sure to avoid the cold ones, and this ends up being a lot of fun. Because you now need to think about cold, there's a purpose to not only think about your characters and the enemy, but also your environment while in combat. Another example of the mechanics in action is the Albedo sword mission, where you have to protect your only heat sources while fighting back. Team comps also matter. It is incredible to me that different characters can be more suited to fight in the environment. Using a pyro character will allow you to relight torches and campfires to keep you warm, but using any other element may result in accidentally putting them out. These sort of interactions could be used in different ways in the future and be expanded upon to make different elements more optimal in other regions. So far, pyro characters are heavily disadvantaged compared to other characters in grassy fields due to burn damage, but in the cold they have a huge advantage. More elements could eventually have entire regions where they are better or worse. Sheer cold reminds me a lot of this one amazing mechanic from Phantom Hourglass where you slowly get poisoned when running out of time unless you stand in a safe zone. Phantom Hourglass is one of my favorite games of all time, and the mechanic played a big part of that because it adds the element of stress and calculation that a player must have. This beautifully designed concept gives me great hope for future areas added to the game. I had so much fun running around, and all of the new designs made me really enjoy the new area. Dragonspine was so incredibly entertaining, and I can't wait to see more like it. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and you made it this far, maybe subscribe to help me out. Leave a like and a comment maybe. This has been Dis. Bye bye.